So Szymanowski is under the spell of Nietzsche, who gave Nietzsche these crazy thoughts. When Nietzsche was 24, he met the most monopolizing, gargantuan figure of the 19th century, Richard Wagner. Wagner's mission in life was to increase musical tension as a direct expression of the Ding an sich, the Dionysian impulse of the thing in itself, a music drama going all the way back to ancient Greek tragedy. Nietzsche was a doctoral student, applying for his first college job as a professor of classics, not even philosophy, and he fell for Wagner as soon as he met him. Nietzsche's own father had died when he was a child. Wagner had finished Tristan und Isolde and Die Meistersinger, and he was in the middle of the ring. He just ate up the infatuation of a university man with degrees who could agree with him and talk endlessly about the philosophy of music. The particular philosopher they both idolized was Arthur Schopenhauer, who had written a book called The World as Will and Representation. And to understand Schopenhauer, we need to go one step further back to the pioneer Immanuel Kant, who had written The Critique of Pure Reason. Immanuel Kant was the first philosopher to question the nature of time and space, and to assert that the world contains more than what we can actually apprehend through our particular resources we have available to us, the senses and our own mental powers. This revolutionary way of looking at things is perhaps the single biggest step in consciousness that human beings have taken prior to the acceptance of Einstein's theory of relativity. Kant drew a line between the full reality of things and the portion of reality that we are able to perceive in our limited way. Schopenhauer continued to develop and expand these concepts. Schopenhauer describes the absolute essence of things as will, the will to live. The surface appearance of reality that comes to us in Schopenhauer's terminology is representation. He believes that music of all the arts brings us closest to the reality or will because it doesn't go through any filters that channel its active emotional content into a canvas or a hunk of stone. It's very immediate. After a few years of meeting minds with Wagner on the subject, Nietzsche took over these facets of perception and traced them back to the Greek gods Dionysus and Apollo, as he called them. Nietzsche ascribed to Schopenhauer's will, or things in themselves, a kind of harshness that we see in some of the most graphic Greek tragedies about kings being dismembered or main characters gouging their eyes out in shame. For him, Dionysian truth is raw and unexpurgated, whereas Apollo confines his more chaste vision of reality and idealism to sculpture and pastoral poetry. Now, this whole time Nietzsche was observing as Wagner reconstructed the lost sounds of ancient Greek drama. And he decided that he wanted to compose too. And if not as well as Wagner, at least as well as Schumann. The next piece I'm going to play is rather obscure, might remain obscure. It's from a Nietzsche composition for four hands, and it was presented in December 1871 at a birthday celebration for Wagner's wife, Cosima. It's the peasant dance, or Bauerntanz, from a larger piece, Nietzsche's Echoes of New Year's Eve. I haven't managed to find out who played it in its premiere or what time of day it was, but I speculate that it may have been close to midnight because we hear 12 chimes at the end, just as in Schumann's Davidson. That's an interesting choice for Nietzsche. It's another piece with subtext about fighting bad influences in art.